I enter the quiet temple of my own skin, where walls are pores and breath is flame. The door is a thought I need to think no more, and I close it with the palm of a vow. I will cleave to breath, to water, to truth, until 18 months have learned my name. First I laid down the noise like a burdensome cloak, and stripped to the drift of a single, patient heartbeat. The body speaks softly when it is not hurried, and I answer with a routine of simple rites. Warm water on skin, a rippling confessing mirror, salt and soap as prayers that rinse the corners of fear. No distraction wanders in, no voice from the street, tugging at the edge of my sleeve only the clean line of air. The months unfold as tides in a sealed shore. Month 1 is the draft of dawn my limbs remember rain, and the weight of quiet limbs the way a tree remembers wind. Month 2 is the river's breath grace made of patience, each muscle a shoreline I cultivate with careful tides. Month 3, a furnace of breath, I learn to count my sighs until they become a drumbeat that steadies the pulse. Month 4, I sleep like soil settling after a storm, and visions arrive not as screens but as stars pressed into velvet. Cleansing the body becomes a map of small mercies. The skin healed by sun and water, the tongue trained to wait for nourishment rather than crave noise. I barter with appetite the way a merchant bargains with time. Less sugar, more silence. Less haste, more light. The body learns to move with intention, to bend around the ache of yesterday and cradle the ache tomorrow. Then comes the reckoning of mind, a quiet weather system. I rotate the lens until it sees not every spark of impulse, but the steady horizon where intention holds steady. Thoughts arrive, not as enemies to be rooted, but as guests, who must be offered tea and a chair and a listening ear. I cultivate a discipline of return attention to breath, attention to the present moment's small, unglamorous miracles. The mind, which once chased every passing echo, learns to observe the echo without becoming it. And when distraction tries the door, its invitation is declined. With the soft iron claws, not now, not here. The soul speaks in a language older than fear. It asks for forgiveness and for release from old debts, to unhook resentment from the nervous system, to let guilt wash through like a river and not drown the shore. I offer to love the self I find unarmed, bruised, stubborn, hopeful, and in return, I am taught to love others as a wider weather system loves the rain. The soul's rituals are patient too, a vow to notice beauty in the ordinary, to honor sorrow as a teacher without surrendering joy, to cradle memory without building a fortress from it. 18 months become a long, bright ritual of becoming. The outside world is a rumor I do not answer. No letters, no calls, no screens insistence. In this isolation, temptations arrive as soft messengers from the edge of light. The lure of noise is a song I once danced to and swore never to echo again. The lure of ease takes the form of a couch and a screen's blue glow. The lure of escape wears the mask of familiar faces I once knew. But I am instructed by the silence to listen to what is truly present. The pulse in a wrist, the heat of skin at the wrists, the breath in the lungs. The way the spine learns to lengthen toward the quiet star of a ceiling. Within this threshold I meet the sacred spirits that guard the right. Lumen, the spirit of light, who teaches me to see what remains when. Flicker ends and flame stabilizes. Noema, the spirit of thought, who shows me that ideas are shadows of reality, and that I am more than a thought I choose to cling to. Terra, the spirit of grounded earth, who steadies me with roots and rest. The sense that I belong to soil and season. Astra, the spirit of the sky, who pulls me upward toward the possibility of ascent. not to escape but to lift the heart toward purpose. Vigil, the spirit of watchfulness who keeps the gates of distraction closed, so that judgment may become mercy and mercy may become discipline. Noctis, the spirit of night, who whispers that stillness is not emptiness but fullness in disguise. Each spirit carries a temptation. Lumen tempts with dazzling certainty, a bright map that glosses over nuance. Noem attempts with clever solutions that circumvent the slow, patient work. Terra tempts with rootedness that hardens into unkindness toward change. Astra tempts with lofty ascent that leaves the ground person behind. Vigil tempts with fragility dressed as vigilance, fear dressed as protection. Noctis tempts with soothing oblivion, a sleep that forgets to wake. I answer each lure with a ritual of choice. To rest when rested, to question when settled, to breathe when tempted. To remember that light is not a weapon but a compass. To keep the ground underfoot even as I lift my gaze. In turning away from distraction, I do not turn away from life. I turn toward the facets of life that last when the siren fades. The patient eye that sees inside a friend's sorrow. The steady hand that offers help without pride. The voice that speaks truth even when it trembles. And then, at the ritual's end, a revelation takes form. The body, the mind, the soul have not been erased but clarified. Like a river that has shed its debris and chosen a path to sea, I find not merely endurance, but alignment, a future that is listenable, a present that is usable, a past that is forgivable. The sacred spirits converge as two figures walking side by side, the self I was and the self I am becoming, and a guide appears not as an external mentor but as a resonance. Between body and breath, between thought and quiet, between heart and horizon. The instruction is simple at last. You do not own the ritual. The ritual owns you, and you are the living testament of it. You step from the cave of your own making, holding your own light. And the light of the spirits who walked with you, you are both map and traveler, both pilgrim and compass. The final vow is not a denial of the world, but a vow to meet it with clarity. To move through each day with intention, to treat every moment as sacred, to respond to the needs of the living as if every life were a temple. So you emerge 18 months complete, not broken but refined, not emptied but filled with a quiet, lasting radiance. You have cleansed the body of distraction, the mind of clutter, the soul of fear. You have heard the voices of the sacred spirits without becoming their echo. And when you walk again into the world beyond your door, you walk with a partner beside you, your own sacred spirit, a faithful guide through the days of sunlight and the nights of doubt. Together you travel, you listen, you illuminate. You are one who knows how to begin again, again and again. With every breath a new covenant, with every step a faithful return. In this union of earthly body and celestial mercy, you discover the life you were always meant to live. A life navigated by light, shaped by breath, led by the quiet truth within.